All right. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. We've got another Dev's deck for you guys. This is his 5-color Reanimator deck. I know a lot of you guys were wanting to see the 5-color control list. We will be playing that tomorrow. I took Halloween off, so we're going to stream for Friday night. And that will be your 5-color control deck. For those of you that do like watching Dev's videos, I have it on some authority that he's going to be covering that tomorrow. So we're going to be doing a bit of a double tomorrow. We'll be playing the 5-color control, and it'll be a Dev's deck. So you should all, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you know when I'm going live for that. If you like tonight's video, though, give it a thumbs up. Let more people get a chance to see it. And as always, if you want to play this deck or any other, manatraders is a great rental service for Magic Online, where you can get all of the cards for a flat rate and do your testing before you spend your money elsewhere. If you do decide to sign up, though, use the coupon code in the description box below. There's a link there for you, and we'll save you 15% on your first 3 months. All right, guys and gals, let's get started. We've got a pretty sweet deck here. Let me get this volume down just a hair. All right, so I guess we should just get started with. It's a Grixis-based deck. If you guys do want to see Dev's deck tech, then I recommend checking right up here in the little information eye. What do you call that thing? It's a little information icon. If you'll click that, you'll have a link to Dev's deck tech. As always, he does a much better job at the deck techs than I do. And if you want to check out my latest meta coverage video, that link's up there for you guys as well. And we're gonna talk more about this Grixis-based 5-color chromatic lantern deck. That's a lot. That's a lot going on, right? All right, so chromatic lantern says that for 3 mana we can ramp 1 land or 1 mana. But now all of our lands tap for all colors, or any color that we want. So, once we get a Chromatic Lantern down, we have access to all colors of Magic. If we can't get to a Chromatic Lantern, we still have Dragon Sword, which also works kind of like a Manalith, but if we do hit one of our dragons, then we can get some value out of that as well. Now, instead of starting at the lower end of the curve like I normally do, I want to go ahead and talk about Connive Concoct. Connive Concoct, the first side of this is 4 mana, the Dimir hybrid and 2 generic. Gain control of target creature with power 2 or less. Now I've heard some some crazy stories of people using this with something like Moment of Craving to knock some creatures down to size and then take control of those, that sort of thing. However, we're really interested in the Concoct part of this. It is 5 mana sorcery speed, so Dimir colors and 3 generic. Surveil 3. Then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, if you've been watching for a little while, you know that we ran into a deck that was base Sultai that was doing this, and they were reanimating Galta and things of that nature, just really, really huge creatures. And I think that is the more ambitious way to go with this deck. The deck is a very ambitious deck, trying to be 5 colors and stuff. I think that the deck should 100% be trying to reach that outer limit. Just go that extra mile, get the biggest, the baddest creatures that you possibly can. Now Dev is doing that here. He's chosen to take a little bit more of a safe route, going with Chromium and Plockaworm on the top end. Now, Plockaworm is wonderful. It enters the battlefield, you gain 7 life. When it dies, you draw a card. Chromium, if you just hard cast this, and that will require some white mana, so you will need either the Dragon Sword or the Chromatic Lantern to do that. But Chromium has flash and flying, so if we do hard cast this, it's going to be quite a surprise to most of our opponents. Chromium coming out of a Grixis-based deck. And then, of course, it has the ability that we can discard a card and turn Chromium the Mutable into a human with base power and toughness, 1/1, but it loses all abilities. However, it'll gain hexproof and it cannot be blocked. So you can always chip in for 1 if you're willing to discard a card. Chromium will stay that human until the end of turn. However, when Chromium's a dragon, the Elder Dragon is a 7/7 with flying, and that can end the game very fast. Now, we do have Niv-Mizzet Perun here. Now, Niv-Mizzet Perun, as a 3 of in the deck, this is going to be a heavy hitter. We're going to be really we're going to be really doing some damage if we can get our Niv-Mizzet down. We've got a ton of 2-mana spells that we can just kind of rotate through. Getting extra cards with Niv-Mizzet is going to be wonderful as well. Dragons entering the battlefield will give us counters on our Dragon's Horde, and that's basically what we want to do once we get Niv-Mizzet down. Just get that extra value off those triggers, get the extra cards. Casting Tormenting Voice, casting Radical Idea, Chart of Course, Thought Erasure. All of these are going to be wonderful with Niv-Mizzet. We do have a couple copies of Chupacabra and a singleton copy of Demon Lord Belzenlock. Fuel Hunter, thank you for subscribing. Thank you very much. Alright, so that's the main board. That's the basic idea of the deck. We're going to be throwing some of these big, hard-to-cast creatures into the graveyard using Connive, Concoct to get those back from the graveyard. We've got a couple extra cards here in the sideboard to help with that, like Eldest Reborn and Izarith. Now, that's pretty much it for the Reanimator portion of this deck. However, we have some nice early board wipes, instant speed. This deals with History of Anaya really well. Most of the knights, they're all going to die from this, except for maybe Knight of Autumn. If it's grown a little bit, you're not going to be able to do much. However, it is instant speed, so with the trigger on the stack, you can go ahead and wipe the Knight of Autumn away so that they can't get the counters on it. And then, of course, we've got Plague Crafter in case we run into Carnage Tyrants, Vine Mayors, things of that nature. However, we could always just put a Plaka Worm in front of a Vine Mayor, and there wouldn't be a whole lot they could do about it. Greg, thank you for subscribing. Thank you very much. We've also got Ritual of Soot. This takes care of pretty much all of the Explore creatures in the meta, and there's a lot of Explore being played. So this dealing with those is absolutely wonderful. And then, of course, we do have Negate, so that we can maybe counter a counter spell, force through a little bit of action, something like that. And that's the deck. I hope everyone likes it. Let's get some shout-outs and we'll get into some gameplay. What's up, Mr. Nunez? Lee Hansen, Rocker, Robert, Madness, Luis, Rebecca. Thank you for showing up. I was actually in Desolator Magic's stream earlier. He was playing some Arena, and I was checking out his gameplay, and I was actually picking at Rebecca in chat. Her and someone else had been bouncing around a bunch of streams, so I was like, well, my stream's coming up. You guys can stop over there, and lo and behold, we have a guest. Anyway, logical order. Welcome, Jareth Miles and Madness. Welcome, Jason. How you doing? Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate the sub. Thank you very much. Jose Lopez, what up? How you doing? All right. Yes. For those of you wondering, Dev is the guy from SBMTG. He does deck techs, and for those of you that are kind of new to the show, and I've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately, so Dev always had comments in the comment section, including my own, going, when are we going to get gameplay? When are we going to get gameplay? So about 4 seasons ago, I actually started running Dev's decks, and we're to the point now where we try not to miss a single one. So if you guys want to see gameplay of Dev from SBMTG, his decks, he comes out with about 3 a week. If you guys want to see gameplay, then I play all of them. So if he does a deck tech on a video, you'll get gameplay right here. Okay, guys, gals, everyone. I'm probably going to keep saying guys. Forgive me. Anyway, we're going to get into some gameplay, and let's see how this deck does. Got it. First time live. When not live, you don't really read the comments. Hey, that happens. Sometimes you just sit back and watch the gameplay unfold. Okay, well, we've got our Chromatic Lantern, so we've got a little bit of ramp. We can Thought Erasure, surveilling maybe something into the graveyard. The hand doesn't look absolutely horrible. We can get a Demon Lord Belzenlock on 5. We don't have any real removal here, but then again, the deck's not running a ton of removal anyway. So I think our best option is to keep the hand and try to take the most devastating thing we can early. So I'm going to keep. Here we go. I wonder if it matters if I start with a Steam Vent or a Watery Grave. I think I'm going to start with Watery Grave so that I don't have to pay anything on 2 to play the Sulphur Falls. Like I think that's the better play. So if we just Watery Grave on 1 tapped. Oh, another Lantern. Alright. You're good. Interested in the gameplay. Well, awesome. Awesome. Alright, well, there's a Thorn Lieutenant. We'll drop this Sulphur Falls. And let's go ahead and see if we can pull out something bad out of its hand. Something we do not want him to have. Alright, well, unless he has a land, he's not going to be casting History of Benalia next turn. I actually have no real way to deal with History of Benalia right now. And I think that that's probably going to be very bad for us if he does get this history out. He does have a Flower to Flourish. So, I mean, he can go grab the land he needs for history, but he will not have the mana to cast it. Vivian Reed's a little bit further up the curve, along with Tristani. So, I think I want to take the History of Benalia. But Thorn Lieutenant would also be a good card. It may also be worth it to just take his Flower, and I think that's what I want to do. Just go ahead and, you know, keep him off the land, make him have to top deck the land. If we do that, he either top decks the land and we see the history, or you know, we're just getting a Thorn Lieutenant anyway. I would like to stick him on lands if possible. So I'm going to take the Flower to Flourish. And we get a Swamp. I'm going to put that in the graveyard, as it is not what I want to see right now. Zap de Puts. Welcome, Zap. How you doing, sir? Or ma'am. Take history? I like mana screwing my opponent. If that seems right, like it may not seem right, but I like mana screwing the opponent here. I am going to pay for Chromatic Lantern here, or pay for the Steam Vent so that I can get the Chromatic Lantern down. And then next turn we'll be able to Watery Grave tapped and play Chart a Course. So I'm just going to play the Chromatic Lantern, the Watery Grave tapped, and then we're looking at Niv-Mizzet next turn, or Demon Lord Belzenlock. Either one will work, and we have kept our opponent off of lands here, so looks like we were able to stop the history for a few turns anyway. So let's go ahead, Chart a Course. I think I want to drop Dragon's Horde, even though that would be a card draw later. I want to keep more instants and sorceries. It may be worth it to drop the Demon Lord Belzenlock, but I think I'm going to get rid of Dragon Horde and keep my card draw spells, as they'll work better with Niv-Mizzet. Alright, well, here comes the History of Benalia. He did finally get another land. And then this turn we'll be dropping Niv-Mizzet. And then we'll follow up with Demon Lord Belzenlock. Or just a bunch of land. Let's go blue, 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 red, red, red. Niv-Mizzet. Okay, well, the only thing we can do here is pass turn. If the opponent does swing, we will eat something. We do need to spend as much card draw as possible. Conclave Tribunal. Alright, well, that was a good game. That was a good game. Conclave Tribunal for the opponent here. It was a good draw. Dealt with our Niv-Mizzet. And now we're dead. It's just lethal. Unfortunately, there's nothing in the deck to actually save us main board. So, I mean, as far as cards went that could have possibly saved us, I guess we had the one out of top decking a Plockaworm, but I don't think that would have saved us for very long. So we do need a couple couple spells here to actually, you know, remove some of our opponent's creatures. I like Ritual and Fiery Cannonade, and I don't think that we really need Ravenous Chupacabra. Thought Erasure seems good. Tormenting Voice also seems good. I like Chart a Course over Tormenting Voice. I am going to take out a Niv-Mizzet and 4 Tormenting Voice to make room for our board sweepers here. And that's about it. I'm going to keep everything else in. I want to keep Chart a Course because I get to see cards before I start discarding. So yeah, it's basically 5-color Niv. That's a good way to think about it. Eldest Reborn may be good, but because this is a token stack, I don't think that we're going to be able to you know, actually pinpoint what we want to kill with Eldest Reborn unless we have cast something like a Ritual of Soot on 4, and I just don't think that we're going to have, you know, enough like consistency to be able to count on that plan. Plague Crafter, the exact same thing. I just don't think that we're going to be able to you know, pinpoint what we want to kill. So there is an argument to bring in Negate here. I'm not going to bring in Negate because there's not enough things that I want to take out. Maybe I could take out maybe like a Demon Lord Belzenlock or something like that. However, I think that I just want to run like this. I don't want to take more threats out of the deck, as the deck's a little bit light on threats as is. 9 total creatures in the deck, so negates for hordes. Okay, well, I can see that. I also think that if we do take out any of our mana fixing or mana ramp, we might be in a little bit of trouble if we didn't hit something like a Chromatic Lantern. We don't get to Chart a Course early here. Matter of fact, we're not going to be able to do a lot early unless we draw a land. However, you know, as early as turn 3, we do get to start putting down some ramp, so maybe this will work. I think that we do need a way to draw and discard because we are holding Connive and Concoct. I'm just a little bit worried about the fact that, you know, some of the cards that we're bringing back are not going to be powerful enough to just end the game in one fell swoop, which worries me a little bit. Negate, cancel his enchantment removal. Understood. I get where you guys are coming from, being able to fight him for that, but I don't think I want to waste a card on fighting over pretty much anything. I just want to throw down something that is going to be devastating all on its own. I'm going to Chart a Course here and make use of my mana. We get a Radical Idea. I think we can throw away the Radical Idea. And then we'll pass the turn. Alright, so here will come either a Thorn Lieutenant or a Knight. Maybe even a Mara. Probably a Thorn Lieutenant. He tapped double green. So I have no clue why this doesn't run that or the 16-16. Okay, so looks like we're going to have basically the same start as we did last time. However, he could very well have something, right? Oh man, Zatalpa would be really fun. We do need to hit some way to wipe the board. I wonder if it would be worth it for us to take control of... oh, perfect. Absolutely wonderful. I'm going to stop at his draw, at the end of his draw step. We'll go... 1, 2, 3... No, I'm just going to pass the turn. So we'll let him draw. I guess we have to go into his main phase. He's going to cast Flower, so this is a good time to go ahead. Fire off the Fiery Cannonade. Fiery Cannonade will wipe the board. He'll go get another land. We save a ton of damage. Why not play the artifact? Because I wanted to wipe the board there. The only other option was play Chart, of course, and I'm trying to kind of wait on that for a moment. So, we'll see. There's a Thought Erasure. We can play that and play the or the Horde. So, play the Dragon's Horde and play the Thought Erasure. Alright, let's see what the opponent's packing here. He does have a Conclave Tribunal. He's got a Shalai, Voice of Plenty. Conclave Tribunal will be a little bit devastating for us, considering, you know, we're going to be Connive concocting. I think we take Shalai and just let him have Conclave Tribunal. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. If he wants to... And we can put this in the grave. And we will pass the turn. So his knights will get +2, +1. Oh, he doesn't have any. Yes, the artifact would generate mana, but it costs 3. And then I wouldn't have had enough left. Would I? No, I wouldn't have had enough left that turn because I would have had 1, 2, 3. The artifact. And one other, maybe I would have. Yeah, maybe I would have. I think you're right. All right, so he cast Sapperling Migration. Oh, there we go. That's not a horrible card. Let's go ahead and we'll fire off our Chart, of course, here. We get a Chromatic Lantern and a Mountain. I think I dropped the Chromatic Lantern. We'll play the Mountain. And... I think I'm going to... just cast Connive here. And I know he gets an extra token off of this. But we do have a way to deal with the token. So I'm just going to take the Thorn Lieutenant. And we'll pass. We have the means to activate Thorn Lieutenant. So... Oh, we got another Thorn Lieutenant. Another Sapperling Migration. Okay. This is making our Fiery Cannonade look very, very good. Okay, we need to draw something big. At some point, we need to draw something big. I'm just going to pass the turn here. I can stopping him in his draw step. Oh, he swings with everything. We lose our Thorn Lieutenant here? We'll see what the opponent does. I am going to go ahead and Radical Idea before I fire off my... Oh, there's a Niv-Mizzet. That is wonderful. Alright, so we'll go ahead and fire off the Fiery Cannonade. And this should kill both Thorn Lieutenants, as he didn't have the 6 mana to pump it. So getting rid of Thorn Lieutenant... Wonderful opponent. Wonderful. Okay, so Chromatic Lantern... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We wouldn't be able to actually cast something. About time Chromatic Lantern got a deck in Standard. Thank you very much, Madness. Welcome to Stream Boss. Let me know if you you know of a song you want to hear, and we'll throw that up for you guys. Thanks, Madness. I appreciate that. Man, I really want to play this Niv-Mizzet, but I think that we just die if we play the Niv-Mizzet. So I'm just going to pass the turn, and we're going to go from here. I thought about, just gaining control of his Thorn Lieutenant. It wouldn't be a horrible idea. I want to cast both of these Radical Ideas and see if I can get a little bit more action going. It may just be, one of those things where we just have to play Niv into a conclave. So let's go ahead and we're gonna fire off a Radical Idea. Okay, so that actually gives me enough land to actually fire off Radical Idea in response to Niv-Mizzet. Like if it goes to destroy Niv-Mizzet, we can actually fire off in response to it. So, oh, what has he got? Is this March of the Multitudes? Okay, so we'll fire off the land. We'll play Niv. Blue and red. So we get a trigger on Dragon's Horde. We can shoot a couple of these guys here. So I think I want to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead. We'll play the Radical Idea. Will draw us one card, give us one point to fire at the lifelinker. We'll draw another card off the Radical Idea, shoot their lifelinker. Ritual of Soot's not bad here. Ritual of Soot will wipe the board. We know that he's got a conclave, so he will be dealing with our Niv-Mizzet. So we just kind of have to play our next threat. So he's got one other card in hand. Ravenous Chupacabra. Alright, so I think I'm just going to remove a counter from our Dragon's Horde, draw another card. Alright, well, I'm going to gain control of his Thorn Lieutenant again. So, I mean, yeah, he's going to get a dude. I'm going to Ravenous Chupacabra said dude. Maybe a little much to put a Ravenous Chupacabra on that, but we know he only has one card left in hand. And now we can kind of get started again. I want to save this Ritual of Soot for something else. Some like March of the Multitudes or something of that nature. So come on, give me like a Chromium. Give me a Chromium. Oh, another Ritual of Soot. I'm assuming we just punch in for some damage here. Alright, so we're looking at 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. So he could make 2 1/1 lifelinkers. Yeah, I'm going to attack with everything here. Then I'm going to activate. And hit the opponent for 8. Now, it will not take long to close the game out here, swinging with a 6/7. So, does he have something that he can deal with this? Okay. The opponent does not. Looks like he's got something he wants to do at the end of our turn, though. I'm a little bit worried about a March of the Multitudes, but it's really small on this turn, so I'm not that worried about it. There you go. He gets 2 1/1s. Good for you, opponent. Good for you. That was a very healthy March of the Multitudes. At this point, though, him swinging will take him to 14. And that won't actually win this race. Oh, wow. Just a land? Okay. That's what we got as well, was just a land. We don't have any more cards in the deck with Jumpstart. I don't think there's a reason to hang on to the land. We've taken the Tormenting Voices out, so there's not a real reason to hang on to it there. I think we just keep trying to win this race. So we'll go green. All of these, green. All of these, green. And punch the opponent for 8. Now, we are lethal next turn. Shalai, Voice of Plenty. Okay. That's a good card. He'll be back to 8. Oh, just went to 7. All right. Now, unfortunately, we can't gain control of Shalai. However, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that we can play the back half of Concoct, and we can pump. So let's go ahead, get into combat, see how the opponent blocks. So 4, 5, 6. We'll have a 1 blocker. Okay. He does need to stop something here. He'll have to stop. He'll have to stop the Thorn Lieutenant, or the Chupacabra. So let's go ahead. We'll go black. Again, all of these. Green. Green. Sure, red. Why not? Okay, so we'll see how blocks go. I'm really hoping that he blocks and kills Ravenous Chupacabra. He does not. Okay. All right. Well, this puts us at a little bit of a predicament. After Ritual of Soot now. I was hoping that he would block a different way. Had another out though, so I'm not like really worried about it, but we do have to Ritual of Soot. Ritual of Soot will not kill our Ravenous Chupacabra, but it will keep him from being lethal on the backswing. So Ritual of Soot. History of Benalia. Really good card. We need to hit something other than land here. Would love something like, you know, Niv-Mizzet. Chart a Course is a card. So let's go ahead and chart a course. We'll discard Dragon's Horde, play the land, and we're dead. Okay. Yeah, we just never got into a threat that we could throw in the graveyard. We did not have... Okay, we had a Ravenous Chupacabra coming in a couple turns, but all in all, we just never really got into a threat. So, unfortunate, but you know. All right, let's get back into another game here. Yes, it has to be 2 power or less for us to take control of it. Otherwise, it would have taken control of the Shalai. Shalai was making the other creatures hexproof, so we couldn't take control of a token. So the only other option, like the real plan was, I was hoping that he would kill the Ravenous Chupacabra. Then we would bring the Ravenous Chupacabra back from the graveyard and go from there. This is a bad hand. We can't keep a 1-lander. Okay. This is not the worst thing in the world. We can turn 1 Steam Vents. I don't think I want another Dragon's Horde. So let's turn 1 Steam Vents, tapped, and pass the turn. Turn 2, we can, you know, chart a course. We might want to throw away a Chromium. or bin a chromium so that we can use it later. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll chart a course, see what else we get. Ravenous Chupacabra, that's actually going to be a little bit closer to castable. Although Chromium's going to be castable now with our Chromatic Lantern. Maybe we just throw away the Radical idea and then hardcast Chromium later. It can't be countered, so maybe getting a Chromium down might be the right idea and just throw away the Radical idea. Because we're going to be playing like a Chromatic Lantern next turn. Yeah, let's get rid of the Radical idea. Do you need Lantern? If you want to play cards like Chromium, you want to have any hope at all at casting those spells, then you're going to need something like Chromatic Lantern. Most of this deck can get away with just Dragon's Horde, so you don't 100% need Chromatic Lantern. You could probably get away with Dragon's Horde alone, but you're going to need some type of mana fixing. If the deck was based in green, I think that I would definitely... I'm going to pay for this. I think that I would definitely play something like Gift of Paradise in the deck, and I think that the Gift of Paradise would help you get your mana fixing just as well as Chromatic Lantern. Thief of Sanity. Well, okay. We do need to kill that. So we will kill that. And pass the turn. We could just play 5 of each basic. I don't know if that's really going to get you there. It might. Another Chromium. Now I'm really wishing I would have thrown this Chromium away. I don't think I can let him keep Thief of Sanities, though. So I'm going to play another Chupacabra and get in for 2. Unfortunately, I just didn't have enough mana to cast the Dragon's Horde. And have the most inconsistent mana base ever. Alright, well, I assume that he gets rid of a Chromium here. Maybe he gets rid of a Dragon Horde to help actually keep me off of the mana. If we have double Chromium, I think getting rid of the Dragon's Horde is probably better. And he surveilled away to Field of Ruin. Notion Rain. So he's going to draw some cards. Meet sarcasm with sarcasm, you guys. Sure, we'll go with that. Don't forget Radical Idea. Understood. I know we got Radical Idea, and we're probably going to cast it at the end of this turn. And just throw away a Chromium. This way we can get it back, or attempt to get it back with a Concoct. Blood Operative. Okay. Alright. Ooh, another Blood Operative. Okay. So he's exiling cards from our graveyard, which is fine. Oh, we exiled the Radical Idea. Oh, I should have done it in response. Yep. That was bad. I definitely should have done it in response, but would he have then gotten rid of my Chromium? Oh, sweet. He blocks them both, so we do get to kill them both. Yes, he can surveil, get them back. Yes, he gained life for that. He gained 6 life. Right, he would have likely eaten the chromium, so it worked out in our favor that we didn't cast the radical idea. Niv-Mizzet Paroon. Now we'll go with red, red, red. So either way, we are going to be able to draw at least 1 card off of Niv-Mizzet. Maybe he'll cast an instant or sorcery. Hopefully it's not that. All right. All right, opponent. You got me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do need 1 more land. That's a Sulphur Falls. So we'll pass turn, discard a chromium, play a chromium. Let's play chromium. So blue, black, where's the white? White, and then it doesn't matter. We get an extra draw here off of our Dragon's Horde. So an extra trigger here on Dragon's Horde. Does he have an answer for it right now? He does not. Alright, well, let's go ahead and see if we can swing in. Hit for 7. Do we just slam Plockaworm? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could play Plockaworm, but I wouldn't be able to draw a card, and I really want to draw a card. I would rather just draw a card and bring Niv-Mizzet back. This way that Niv-Mizzet's not in the graveyard. If our opponent gets a chromium, that's fine. I would just rather the opponent actually... I would rather actually get the Niv-Mizzet back. So that's the route I'm going to take. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove a gold counter. We'll take a look at what the Horde has. We can play that. We do not need to bring it in untapped. I could have played the Plockaworm if we brought it in untapped, but again, I just want to make sure that my opponent cannot have my Niv-Mizzet, as Niv-Mizzet might be a little bit bad. Alright, so we'll surveil 3, and then return a creature card from the graveyard to the... let's go... Let's go put Shard of Course. No, all right, let's do this. Let's go top, top, top. Let's do it like that. Now we'll get back Niv. And then next turn we'll draw Chart of Course, cast the Chart of Course, draw Tormenting Voice and the land. And then we have a land to discard to the Tormenting Voice, plus we'll have additional cards for casting it with Niv-Mizzet. We can tap the Dragon's Horde to draw yet another card. I definitely messed up there. I should have drew off the Dragon's Horde after I brought the Niv-Mizzet onto the battlefield for an extra point of damage. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh no! So our Ravenous Chupacabra got us here. He did not get back my Chromium though, which is a little bit surprising. Is this... Okay, a Field of Ruin on my land? Okay, well that's fine. I'm actually less worried about him destroying our Niv-Mizzet than I am the Chromium. That is not... that. I don't think that's the order I put those in. Doesn't feel right. Could have sworn I put Chart of Course on top. Oh, we shuffled the deck. That's right. We shuffled with the Watery Grave. So, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Alright, so the opponent is at 1. Let's go ahead, remove a gold counter, draw a card. Radical Idea. That's a pretty good card to throw away with Tormenting Voice. Let's do that. And we'll throw away Radical Idea, draw 2 cards. It's almost like drawing 3 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still got a card to throw away to Radical Idea? Sure. So now he's got to just stop Chromium. Sure, dude. You can have a Palaka Worm. Palaka Laka Laka. If he's got an Ocean Rain, he just can't play it. Yeah, this is a Dimir mid-range deck. You can't bring those back, can you? Alright. And he scoops it up. We go to game 3. This deck folds to control. You honestly think it needs counters or something to respond to things. If anything, I think the deck needs like Lava Coil. The deck needs something to just kill our opponent with. I think Lava Coil would be wonderful for that. I am going to be bringing in Eldest Reborn here. I want more Reanimator effects, and I want the negates. For that, I'm actually taking out Tormenting Voice again. Dragon's Horde, maybe we could take that out. Is there anything else we really want to bring in? Izarith. Izarith is really good. Maybe 2 Izarith. Maybe we can take out 1 Chromatic Lantern and 1 Izarith. Or 1 Horde and 1 Chromatic Lantern. I don't know if the deck's ever supposed to actually take those out. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try it with a little bit less mana fixing in it. And we'll see what happens. Disrupt is your favorite 1 mana counter spell. It's like, screw you, I'm drawing a card. Well, we can chart a course. Chart a course. We ain't very far off of being able to cast Niv-Mizzet hard cast. I think I keep the hand. And we'll just turn 1 Steam Vents, turn 2 Drowned Catacombs, and just kind of roll from there. Yeah, that works. The game plan stays the same. I don't think we just, like... Alright, well, he only gets to take a Charter Course here. I mean, it's only a Charter Course. Like, it's a great spell. Divination for 2. If you can attack. This deck doesn't do very well at attacking with Charter Course. Let's go ahead and Drowned Catacombs. I do not want to put my Niv-Mizzet in the graveyard because I'm worried about a turn 3 Blood Operative. Wow. Alright, so I guess we do put Niv in the grave. Or do we throw Chromium in the grave? I mean, we can afford to lose a Niv, I guess. So, Blood Operative here, eats Niv-Mizzet, and then... oh, just a Thief of Sanity. Okay. Thought Eraser is going to be a little bit late. So, let's just go ahead and play the... Let's go ahead and play Azareth. And pass. I mean, he's going to be getting a lot of cards off of us. This is not going to be the greatest thing in the world. Thief of Sanity is just a much better card than most of what we're running. Plague Crafter is a recurable edict. It is a recurable edict. Not gonna argue that. Oh man, there goes Niv-Mizzet. And he has a blocker for his Arth. And we have no clue what card he took from us. Okay, I'm just going to connive the Thief of Sanity. I don't think I want to swing into that. Well, so the deck's only got Connive, Concoct, and if you bring in his Arth, you bring in Eldest Reborn, you're not running a ton of reanimation spells, alright? Like, you're just not. And do I just block this? Let's block that. You're just not running a ton of reanimation spells, and because you're not running a ton, you're not going to be doing a lot of reanimating the same thing over and over. This is probably mine. Did he get that out of my deck? No, he didn't. Okay, so we can Fisher. See what else the opponent might have. Blood Operative, Blood Operative. Alright, well, we'll take a Blood Operative. We'll leave that on top. Because we have our land for next turn, then we'll get to use Thoughtseize and Surveil yet one more turn. I do not have the mana because of this swamp here to be able to cast Niv-Mizzet next turn anyway. So we're going to see the same number of cards by holding on to the Surveil card on top. We do need to get this Niv-Mizzet down at some point and be able to do some work with that. Demon Lord Belzenlock. That's ours. Well, Demon Lord Belzenlock. We'll go ahead and get the... It's got Discovery Dispersal. I don't think we can deal with Discovery Dispersal. I don't think we can deal with Dispersal. Him making us bounce something. Yeah, let's get rid of Discovery Dispersal. Negate on top. I don't think that does it either. We'll put Negate in the grave. We need land here, and it needs to be blue. We need a blue land, or a mountain. A mountain would work, because then we could use blue, blue, blue. So, mountain or island. Yeah, I think the Dispersal was the most dangerous of the cards there. He does get to, bring back his Blood Operatives and such if he wants to take these triggers, which it looks like he's going to. Yeah, we need a land off the top. All right, well, you've duressed us, opponent. We have nothing for you to take. You've taken it all. You've taken everything from us. You have our Demon Lord. What we really need is planes off the top. There's no planes in the deck, so that's wishful thinking. I think this deck's just going to spin its wheels anyway, Kenneth. I don't think that these are cards that just 100% just end the game. Of course, there's not many cards that do just 100% in the game anyway. But I just don't believe the... Come on. We know he's just blood operatives. We'll get rid of that blood operative. Put the mountain on top. It was a good game, though. He's lethal on board. Kind of reads like Dragon, Reanimator, a couple of other ways to build. Nexus of Fate sure does end the game. Only if you continue to draw them. Like, Nexus of Fate doesn't really end the game if you don't continue to draw them. Alright, well, I don't think we bring in Plague Crafter. Not having our Chromatic Lanterns and such, very, very bad for us. Fiery Cannonades probably going to be pretty good, killing almost all of his creatures. So let's go with that. I don't think the opponent's going to have just a ton of creatures, so you guys are probably right. Plague Crafter is probably going to be fairly good. So if we bring in the Plague Crafter, we take out, let's take out Demon Lord, and we'll take out I guess a couple Thought Erasers, maybe one Dragon Sword. We'll leave out one Dragon Sword and leave in the Chromatic Lantern. Maybe Ravenous Chupacabra shouldn't come out, period. Maybe we should just take out Plockaworm because we're not that worried about gaining a bunch of life. Plockaworm's a really good card to bring back, but if we try to go a little bit more controlling in this matchup, we can probably win with a Niv-Mizzet and a Chromium. Plague Crafter, things of that nature. We're always going to be sacking Plague Crafter to itself. We don't have any other creature that would be worth it to sack it instead of Plague Crafter, unless we've taken something with a Connive and Concoct. So you're never going to be upgrading with Plague Crafter. So I'll take out two Plague Crafters because I actually like Ravenous Chupacabra better. I think if we were going to be playing Plague Crafter as 4 of, that would be 100% when I want to bring in Azareth. Azareth seems good. Like, I don't mind bringing in Azareth. If I did that, I guess we just take out... Like, what do we take out? Plockaworm? Yeah, we just take out the Plockaworms, go with... Alright, so let's get rid of Chupacabras, and we'll go the Azareth Plague Crafter route and see how that works. Like, I'm not really worried about life in this matchup, so I'll take out the Plockaworm. I don't think the opponent is just going to be like, burning us to death or anything. I mean, it's Demir. He might be able to. All right, so we would love to play first. All right, we've got stuff. We can deal with the early. So his Thieves of Sanity, things like that. It seems like we have a decent game plan here. So if we can get this Chromatic Lantern down, that turns on Negate, Niv-Mizzet, all of these things. Chances are he's going to duress us or Thought Seize us, not Thought Seize, Thought Erasure us very soon. And if he does that, then we can kiss Chromatic Lantern goodbye. So hopefully we just untap this turn with a Chromatic Lantern in hand. Nope. Oh, it's a search for Azcanta. Not that I'm happy about a search for Azcanta, but I'm happy about him not taking our Chromatic Lantern here. So I'm not going to pay the life. Play the Chromatic Lantern and pass. So he searches for Azcanta. He did not find Azcanta. He found something he wanted, though. Alright, so there's the Thought Erasure that we were a little bit worried about. I assume this takes Niv-Mizzet. It may just take Negate, but I assume it takes Niv-Mizzet. Depending on what he has in hand, it may end up taking Fiery Cannonade. It does look like the opponent's a little bit hurt on mana if he doesn't play something this turn. Ooh, he took Chart Course. So he has an answer for Niv-Mizzet, and he's got land. Okay. He also put a land on bottom. We can leave this tapped, play the Dragon's Horde, and still hold up negate. So we'll go tapped. Red, red, black, Dragon's Horde. And then we negate whatever comes our way. I guess we do have to worry about his turn 5 Eldest Reborn. So Zaxodillo, not so well. The deck's a little clunky. I like the idea. I like the concept of the deck. We ran into it in a Sultai version a little while back. You know, if you remember that, you know, the Connive Concoct deck that we come up against. That was a lot of fun. But he was bringing in like 12/12s and, you know, 16/16 Indestructibles, and, you know, Carnage Tyrants, things like that. Things that can't be easily removed. Here we're bringing in, you know, things that can't be countered, but if you counter the spell that we're bringing them back with, then they're countered. So they just need to reprint Buried, maybe. All right, so we'll let him have his discovery here. One, two, three, four, five, six. I mean, so if we get Niv-Mizzet, there's a Lazav. Alright, so Lazav's got no targets in the grave as of right now. I do expect the opponent to have Eldest Reborn, though. Which makes me kind of want to wait a couple turns to get enough land to have negate backup. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to wait for the negate backup. We need one more land to be able to do just that. So, yeah. Jank inbound. Journey, find a trophy. He's been mucking with a lot around that core. Okay. He keeps his same name, but that would be a different card. I mean, it still means, you know, this card. So, disinformation campaign? Alright. I'll get rid of Fiery Cannonade. I mean, the opponent found Escanta. We did. Alright, so here's the land. So we'll go blue, blue, blue. All of these red and red. So now we just need to negate an Eldest Reborn and go from there. The opponent does know about our negate, so J-Light Ranger is an expensive card, so yeah, I mean, when you're trying to piece together your decks, man, that's just expensive stuff. Thief of Sanity can hit. That's fine. I'm going to wait on removing the gold counter. We'll go ahead and put a counter on Thief of Sanity. We have a Chromatic Lantern. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card here with the gold counter. This will allow me to kill Thief of Sanity here. Now that does mean that Lazav can copy Thief of Sanity, right? So would I like to pay 2 life? No. We'll play another Chromatic Lantern. Hold up negate. I don't think we swing. Because if we swing, Lazav copies, and then we're in a little bit of trouble. Search for Kanta. Or as Kanta the Sunken Ruin, is going to find him a card. Let's see what he gets. Whiff. The opponent whiffed on his Kanta. Wow, opponent, you've got way too many non-creature spell, or too many creature spells if you whiffed on his Kanta. Wizard slivers, stuff like that. Slivers. Ugh. Slivers are like the tribal spell. You know, like, oh, slivers. Discovery. Let's go ahead and put a point of damage here. Slivers, they're really, really good. There's nothing wrong with slivers. It's just they are really, really good. Doom Whisperer. Alright, well, that's a thing, I guess. So we need something like Chromium, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll ping him. Land, Lantern, pass. I mean, we're not looking so hot here. I mean, we're actually just being outclassed. Pile driver, lackey, squee, ringleader. Those are like all the greatest goblins. Oh man, those are some good goblins. Pile driver and lackey. I don't know about Squee, but you know, Squee's pretty good. Ringleader's really good. I bet you're a Jim Davis fan, aren't you, Cravings? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but Jim Davis is a big fan of goblins. So. The opponent is doing some surveilling here. Another surveil. What are you looking for, opponent? The rest wouldn't have been bad. I mean, it would have let him pull this negate. Ravenous Chupacabra. I'm just going to scoop out of pure fury. Now he's safe to turn Lazav into a Thief of Sanity. Get an extra card advantage off of us. He's not going to do it. Maybe he does. Maybe he does right here. Really? He doesn't? He's just going to hold it up for the Azcanta. I'd rather take 3 cards off my opponent's deck than pull from my own when I'm this far ahead. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Oh, look! A Dragon's Horde. Fury Scoop. I'm just going to furiously scoop. Yeah, I mean... like, I hate to be one that, like, talks about Dev's decks, things like that. But I don't think any of the pieces in this deck work really well together. I think that if we're bringing things back from the graveyard, we should be bringing back stuff that is much harder to kill. Chromium's fine, but I like, you know, cards like Carnage Tyrant. I like something that is, you know, indestructible or something like that. Alright, so our opponent said, why people play one game and quit? So I assume he's got a pretty good deck. Winning game 1 doesn't mean anything. Yep, you're right, opponent. Winning game 1 doesn't mean anything. Well, let's Thought Erasure opponent and see what he's cooking over here. So we're gonna go. Oops, we need the black off. Black blue. All right, so this is a Sultai deck. We cannot have our Chromatic Lantern be destroyed by this Assassin's Trophy, or maybe we do. Maybe we allow that. And I just take the Search for Escanta, and then we deal with the Vraska's Contempt. Yeah, sure enough. More land on top. Let's go to the graveyard. We've got a couple turns to hit another land, so we'll pass. Getting rid of Search for Escanta works here. We've got double Chromatic Lanterns, and yeah, we'll just go with Sulphur Falls, Chromatic Lantern. Maybe he drew a counterspell? He did not. Alright, so he played the Drowned Catacombs, now he's played the Woodland Cemetery. Another Thought Erasure. So we're gonna go blue, black for Thought Erasure again. He may decide to Assassin's Trophy the Chromatic Lantern now, which is fine. That is perfectly fine. Yeah, he is. He's going to go ahead and do that. We will take the shuffle. Go ahead and remove that. Let's just take a swamp here. Now we'll Thought Erasure. What he's got? Essence Scatter and Syncopate. I plan on casting this Block of Worm. I would at least like to get the trigger off of it. Essence Scatter is going to stop that. Syncopate's going to keep it from being in the graveyard. Vraska's Contempt. Like, I don't think our deck's got enough threats to get through this. I guess it's Vraska's Contempt. We can put the land in the grave. We'll play Chromatic Lantern and pass. Alright, well the opponent did get a Search for Escanta. So, you think Syncopate was the card to take? Maybe you're right. Maybe you are right. Poopy! We need more Thought Erasures. Pronto! Right? Yeah, we need to get all of the Thought Erasures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and get rid of Syncopate 1. All of these green and green. Poopy Fatty, thank you very much. You're right, we do need some more Pronto. I figure one of these gets Syncopated, the other one gets Essence Scattered, and then hopefully we can bring one back later. We'll see though. Can't believe we didn't use the Syncopate there. That was a really good time to use the Syncopate. There's the Overgrown Tombs we knew about. So he's got Syncopate, Watery Grave here. So we got so he can just Syncopate this. I guess that goes like we can go ahead and get the last card out of his hand with this. Block of Worm's not like overwhelmingly wonderful in this matchup anyway, so we'll go ahead and get rid of the counter spell. Poopy, thank you very much. Madness, did you ever pick a song? Either of you want to pick a song? Go for it. Just give me an @SideboardMTG and you post which song you want. Assuming that you guys know something on the song list. Couldn't let me last one stream. No, you know how they are. Gotta kill that stream boss, man. Gotta kill that stream boss. Close out on conflagration. All right. Well, at least you guys want the same song. All right. Close with conflagration. We will do that. You may have to remind me again, but no, that's a real creature. This is a creature that you just. Oh. This deck sucks so bad. I love you, Dev. You've been doing good lately. Alright. This deck is not one of those. Win some, you lose some, and I think this deck was a swing and a miss. Oh. It don't get better. I'm gonna cry a little bit. Just a little bit. And yeah, all that. Oh, he's got an Assassin's Trophy, so now we won't even be able to cast Chromium. Need something now. Game 2. Oh. I think this is more of a novelty deck. Dev does build a lot of novelty decks. I don't necessarily think that this is was ever meant to be on the real playable side. Dev likes to toy with ideas and things of that nature. I'm going to take the Plockaworms out again. I'm going to bring in the Izarefs and the Plague Crafters. I think that was a good way to go. I'm taking out the Ravenous Chupacabras. And we will remove Tormenting Voice. Uh-oh. Maybe it's Radical Idea we're supposed to remove. But I'm going to go with Tormenting Voice. I think I want Negate as well. I don't know what we take out for the negates. Maybe it's just Dragon's Horde. And we try to win with Izareth. Yeah. Dev builds a lot of novelty decks, and we've played some of those in the past, and they're not always the greatest thing in the world, but when they go off, it's just wonderful things. And when they go off, they're wonderful. But consistency is sometimes a little bit problematic. So this doesn't look like a bad hand. I'm gonna keep. I mean, this is as good as we can really hope for. We'll start with Watery Grave. This will bring in all of our other lands on tap. We can get an Izaref down on 3. We can get Chromatic Lantern down on 3. Other than that, we don't have a lot going on, though. So, Magic Online's a real stress test. It really is. So, I get it. I mean, I say this about Dev all the time. The man builds quite a few really powerful decks every season, and that's something that I think that we all just have to take away from it. Is say this is a really powerful deck, and you can't build 30 decks a season and expect all 30 of them to be powerful tier 1 decks. It's just not realistic. So I think I play Thought Erasure and know what I'm getting into here. So the opponent has Assassin's Trophy, Thief of Sanity, Chemister's Insight. I have no way to deal with Thief of Sanity. I can't allow that to resolve. So I'm going to take the Thief. Do I want another land on top? Not right now, I don't think. I think we can make it another turn without a land on top. We've got 6 mana worth on the battlefield right now. He top decked another Thief. Very nice opponent. Very, very nice. So I'm going to go Sulphur Falls. I'm going to play out the Chromatic Lantern. Then I'm going to go ahead and tap Chromatic Lantern, play out the Thought Erasure, And I'm going to get rid of the Assassin's Trophy so that we can keep our Chromatic Lantern. At this point, I don't have a lot of options. Austin Way, thank you for subscribing. We're just looking at hitting Azareth and then trying to get back a Niv-Mizzet at some point. This deck needs some removal. Oh, the opponent said he left it on top from the previous thought erasure. The opponent's been talking to me a lot here. Seems to be a really nice guy. Okay, so we just need to have this survive, and then we'll bring back Niv-Mizzet next turn. I mean, that's a start. If this survives, we get a Niv-Mizzet, we can kind of go from there, so... Alright. This is a pretty straightforward version of, you know, Sultai midrange, Sultai control. I like what he's got going on here with the Thief of Sanities. He's probably about to start taking some serious threats from us, and it's not going to be good. Ravenous Chupacabra would break my heart. Lee Hansen! Got your back, Madness. Oh, thank you, Lee. I appreciate that, sir. You're in Canada? That's cool. Canadian money doesn't translate the same. But thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Madness is, or Poopy is laughing right now at the fact that he didn't die from that hit. I know you were trying to kill Poopy, but the conversion, it got you. Darn that math. Darn that Vraska's Contempt. Okay, well. Hey, we still get Niv-Mizzet Padroon. Got him. Yeah. So let's play Niv. Blue, 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 red, red, red. There's a very timely Niv-Mizzet. Oh! Oh! You guys are fighting! I appreciate it. I'm like, I love when you guys do this, but I also think it's probably like the funniest thing in the world. This time? You guys. You don't have to, but, thanks. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Oh, man. The heal there from Poopy was just clutch. Oh, my goodness. Eldest Reborn? Oh, Zaxadillo coming in. Timely execution there, Zax. Did you get it? I don't think you got it either. I think you put him, like, very, very low. Like, next subscriber low. Donation war? No complaints. No complaints. Alright? No complaints. You just won your LGS's costume contest with Vraska and her trophy? Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Zaxadillo, Lee Hansen, Poopy Fatty, Madness, everyone, thank you very much for your donations. I do appreciate it, guys. It's still funny to watch you guys fight, though. And there's Zaxadillo putting him low. Putting him low. Right? We got what? 365 there? So, I think like a subscriber takes off of 100. So, 3 subscribers will kill the stream boss. So, all that donating, and somebody just clicks subscribe, and can't top deck if you don't bring it in. Well, I mean, we can get back something like a Niv. The opponent's probably going to get back something like a Niv, and then we're just going to have these counter wars, these trigger wars. We've got no cards to discard, so he might have an Assassin's Trophy to deal with our Eldest Reborn. Like Vraska, like you were Vraska, right, Marcus? Right, and I'm sorry, buddy. So you were the trophy. No, you didn't leave any like little furries anywhere, you know, like last Halloween costume, right? Or last costume contest, right? No sapperling dust everywhere. Let's go ahead and fire this off. That's horrible. I'll hang on to it so that I can just fire it off at the end of turn here to get another radical idea. So, we'll see what happens. Madness with the buck! That'll do it. That'll get there, Madness. Madness is like, and I'm back. I'm back. Ah, GG Madness, right? Good job, buddy. Alright, so he's doing this now. So, I assume he's picking Niv-Mizzet. It's also highly probable that he has a really good these. So he did pick Niv-Mizzet. I am going to go ahead, fire off this radical idea before his Niv-Mizzet. I don't want him to get extra card draw. So we'll fire off our card draw now. There's a chart, of course. With the steal the kill. Never didn't have it. What? The dollar is super effective. You guys, you're hilarious. 100% hilarious. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do. Okay, well, Niv-Mizzet's good in a deck full of instants and sorceries. $1, Bob. Right? $1. You want an Ultra Pro Realms of Havoc Dragon Life Counter Sculpture thing. Oh, the one that like picks up and turns, like the metal one? I've seen those. If it's the one I'm thinking about, I've seen those, and those are really, really cool. So, awesome. Awesome. Well, we get a Niv-Mizzet of our own here if he doesn't have an Assassin's Trophy. Or some other way to... Opponent. It's just not nice. It's just not nice at all. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and take my land. It's just mean, opponent. Why are you so mean to me? Oh, look. Let's draw cards. You draw cards too, opponent. Just go ahead and kill me. Kill me with my own creature. Shoot me with my own gun. Yeah, at least I called it. Right. Oh, look! We get all of these wonderful spells. let's get rid of this one, and then we'll play that one, and then we'll cast this one, get rid of this. We're casting more spells, so our opponent gets to draw more cards, do more damage to us, but we're not doing anything, so we've got to do something. Hey, Chromatic Lantern. GG, sir. G a G. The main reason I say GG is because he's 1 point of damage here. That'll put us at 7. He can swing for 5, and then he has a flashback of Chemister's Insight for 2, which will do the last 2 points of damage. We are dead, ladies and gentlemen. We are dead. Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, you make it your YouTube picture. You know, if you want to, if any of you want to post your deck techs or your costumes or whatever from you know, Halloween, whatever it is you want to post, as long as it's even remotely Magic related. We try to keep it about 90% Magic related over on the Sideboard MTG subreddit. But be sure to check out the Sideboard MTG subreddit. Post your decks, vote on decks. Decks that get voted on are chosen weekly for our Subscriber Sunday. So, like, if you want to post some pictures over there, you can do that. If you want to post deck tags, whatever you want to post, you can do that. I would like to see them, so if you post them on your channel, I'll definitely come check them out. I want to see your costume for is there a link to the Reddit? Yes, it's in the description box. It's probably like the 5th or 6th link down. I've got a lot of links in the description box, so. Alright, well. So what do you guys think about this particular version, this particular deck that Dev built? What do you think about this 5-color Reanimator? You guys like it? Dislike it? Think that it was a cool novelty? I'm going to put this in the novelty class. I don't think Dev was trying to say that this was, a top tier competitive deck. I don't think at any point did he ever say that. So, if anything, maybe the deck will get some people brewing on, hey, we can connive, concoct, we can bring some stuff back from the graveyard that way. Unfortunately, I don't like. Maybe taking Tormenting Voice out was wrong, but it seems like taking anything else out would break the deck altogether. So, the one that we ran into, Cody, we were playing, I think, a Sultai deck, and we ran into another Sultai deck that night. So if you guys go back and check out, I think it was Justin Clay's Sultai deck, we ran into a Reanimator deck kind of like this. He was bringing back, 12/12s with Trample. He was bringing back Carnage Tyrant, things that are either going to end the game in a turn or two, or just strong enough that they just can't be dealt with. Personally, we just kept running into Eldest Reborn decks. This deck's not going to put a lot onto the battlefield, and Eldest Reborn is absolutely wonderful at stopping decks that aren't going to put a lot of cards onto the battlefield. So, all in all, though, yeah, I had a lot of fun with the deck. Just trying to get Niv-Mizzet down, trying to do things. Yes, it was a little bit frustrating, but whatever. I mean, when you hit a Niv-Mizzet and then you just draw 3 lands in a row after hitting Niv-Mizzet and you're like, I have no spells to cast, that's heartbreaking. That is very, very heartbreaking. Like, here's a Niv-Mizzet and there's nothing I can do. Like, I don't even think we ever got an opportunity to just swing with Niv-Mizzet. So, it's What do we got tomorrow? Tomorrow we got another 5-color deck. It's going to be a little bit different from what you guys seen tonight. Let's see if I can get that pulled up for you guys and gals. Alright, so tomorrow we're going to be playing 4 copies of Revitalize. I know some of you are going to be happy about that. Just a stall tactic, just a little healing potion there. Give us another card, give us another, something like that. Rainbow Lich. Well, that's kind of what we got going on here, right? We've got 5-color Lich's Mastery. The deck does not have Chromatic Lantern in it. Instead, it's got Gift of Paradise. The deck is a little... like, you can't even say this deck is based in a particular color. I would say it's based kind of Abzan blue with a very light red splash. Maybe Sultai white, Abzan blue, whatever. This is the deck that won SCG Dallas this weekend. You guys should be seeing a deck tech on this from Dev tomorrow. He's going to be talking about this deck a little bit. And we're going to be playing it tomorrow night. So if you guys are looking forward to that, if you guys are out at F&M or whatever, the replay will be up for you guys to see it. You know, we're talking about, you know, Mastermind's Acquisition, Lich's Mastery, Cleansing Nova, you know, Settle the Wreckage, Majari's Conjecture. There's a 3-of. Come on. What can we pull out of the sideboard that would just be absolutely phenomenal with the... Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. 3 Thief of Sanities on the side. You've got Immortal Sun, Carnage Tyrants, Lyras, Night of Autumn, Deafening Clarion, Banefire. You know, just all the toys. I think this deck is going to be extremely hard to pilot, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, any of yous coming to Eternal Weekend here in Pittsburgh? Well, I don't know there, Rush. They might. Right in the Siege Worm. But anyway, this is going to be a really cool deck. I can't wait to play with this one. So maybe I'll try to get a couple test games in with it. I think that you're basically just going to need to hit Gift of Paradise. If you don't have Gift of Paradise, you should probably mulligan to a Gift of Paradise. I don't know how well this deck's going to work without Gift of Paradise. I do think that it's, you know, it's probably based Esper. In all reality, with just enough green to be able to cast Gift of Paradise semi-consistently. Yeah, Esper Green. These are all the same thing, right? Esper Green, Abzan Blue, Sultai White, all right? Can you donate to submit your own brews? Well, Lee, you've got one coming up. It's the 1st, and you just became a patron, so you should be getting charged for your first months of Patreon here in the next day or two, and you can submit a brew there. If you guys do donate a $20 donation, you can get, which you actually did tonight, right? I think you did a $20, I'm pretty sure you did $20 tonight, so... Absolutely. You've got contact with me there on Patreon. Say, you know, just send me a message saying, you know, this is my donation bonus deck, or I can post the one that you had already brewed that you were talking about. We can do that one, however you want to do it. But yeah, you've got one coming. So yeah, or was it Poopy that donated 20? Lee Anson, yeah, it's 20, and then. Poopy did 20, so we also got a donation bonus for you as well there, Poopy. 20 Canadian, I'll let you guys get away with that. The problem is like when you go 20, like Philippine, like we had somebody that used to donate Philippine dollars or something from the Philippines, and it would be like $125, and that would equal like you know, $2. So that would not be quite the same thing, but yeah. I don't know the conversion rate, Lee. I don't. But we'll say you've got one coming there. So send me a message, and we'll play it. So you're so happy that this channel's a thing. You love watching Dev's decks being put to use since you can't buy them yourself. Well, honestly, if you can't buy them and you want to test them out. manatraders, guys, I'm telling you, if you play Magic Online for the price of your Netflix subscription, you can have like the ability to play at least all of his budget decks for the price of a Netflix subscription. You can play every budget deck he puts out. You may not be able to play like the top tier decks that are like $400 for that price. But I think you need like the middle tier manatraders to be able to play like most competitive decks. I know that I played with the middle tier for months and months before I got my sponsorship. So 25%ish on the exchange last week. Drive across the border fairly regularly. Ouch! Wow. I think like something like I just get the feeling with your recent changes in particular laws that the price of the Canadian dollar might end up going up. I really do. Like, I think that there's going to be a lot of revenue going into Canada due to your new recreational laws. Zexdillo doesn't even have Netflix. Manatraders is $9 a month. The small package is like $10 a month, something like that. So yeah, it's not as crazy as a lot of people would think. You don't have to go pay $100 a month or something. That's for if you want to go play vintage, man. You want to play with the Power 9, then yeah, you might have to give a little bit of collateral before they let you borrow the Power 9. Which we can do, by the way. At some point when we start getting to the end of a season and we start getting a little bit more of a lull, and in decks and gameplay and stuff like that, I'm going to play some decks with some serious power for you guys. Some Lotuses and stuff like that in it. So. Yes, the recreational laws. Right. Well, I lived in Arizona. Things were illegal there for a little while. If you were in the military, if you ever had been diagnosed with PTSD, you could go get your little card there and drive to the store, and everything was nice and legal. So, Did I see your last message, Rush? Am I going to play one of your commander decks as a wedding present? If I can find somebody to play against, we might do that there, Rush. We'll see what we can do. Casual reminder to end the stream on conflagration. I did get your last message there, Madness. I got you, brother. By the way, don't forget to check out the Mono Green Explore deck on Reddit. Let me guess. Wildgrowth Walker, Merfolk Branch Walker, Path to Discovery, and J-Light Ranger. And then whatever else you can fit in the deck. Michigan's voting this week. Wow. That's cool. Sign into chat. What is going on? How am I not signed into chat? It's crazy. Oh no. Chat did something. I'm sorry, guys. I lost chat. There we go. Somehow I got signed out. I don't know what's going on. I normally don't take. It's what happened. It's exactly what happened. I spoke about some laws, and now YouTube has disconnected me. I have been disconnected from YouTube chat. Man, it's what happened. Certain things you just can't talk about. Either way, guys, that was your devs deck for tonight. Again, we're going to be playing this 5-color control deck next, or our next stream, which will be tomorrow. May not be the next stream. I may actually stream something else before then. Looks like my chat is down for some reason. I don't know what's going on. That's crazy. Is it taboo if you only change the sideboard of the top 8 deck? Can I send that for a donation deck? Yes, you can. I will play a top 8 deck with pride. I will love it. Everyone has their takes. And I don't really believe in net decking versus not net decking. I think we should know what people are playing. We should know the consensus. Anytime that there's choices to be made, people will naturally develop a meta, and it's just a thing. Like I don't think that we should waste good energy arguing about whether someone's a net decker or not a net decker. We should just play your Magic. If you're going to brew, then brew with the net decks in mind and brew to beat those net decks. And a lot of times you'll have a lot of luck with that. I've had a lot of luck with that. And if you can beat most of the net decks, normally you can beat some of the other off the wall decks. So I'm never really upset with anything like a net deck. So I know some people are. Some people just go just for lack of a better way to put it, they go ape shit over net deckers. And personally, I think that's a waste of brain power to worry about that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to change it over to conflagration. I'm going to close out the stream for tonight. Looks like we're having some problems with chat anyway. Hopefully we're still live. And other than that, guys, everyone have a good one. We've got... What is going on? I don't know what's going on with chat. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. Okay, so I can see you guys here on phone. Maybe I can just refresh. Anyway, let's get to conflagration. Again, so you guys can see. I do want to ask you guys a quick question on, what did you guys think of the deck tech layout? Did you guys like that? I'm sure most of you seen my top 8 footage. Did you like the layout there? Yes, no, maybe. Arena's going to be a little bit stranger. But yeah, been working on my layouts a little bit. For those of you that are members of the community, I've also been working on your little tags, like Lee Hansen and Poopy. All you guys, I'm working on your little tags to give some of you silver, some of you will have orange for mythic, that sort of thing. So yeah, conflagration. Here's your song. Enjoy. We'll catch you next time. I guess we should rewind it. It's actually a really short song. There we go. Have a good one, guys. And gals. Thanks for stopping in. Zach Still, all you gotta do is play white and Connive and Concoct. Have a good one.